Henry Mitchell was a man burdened by the weight of a terrible secret. For years, he had lived a seemingly normal life, married to a loving wife named Laura, with 2 beautiful children and a stable job. Yet, beneath the facade of normalcy, a sinister past loomed. Years ago, in his reckless youth, Henry had been in a passionate and tumultuous relationship with a woman named Rebecca. Their love had been fierce but toxic, marked by jealousy, betrayal, and violence. One fateful night, in a fit of rage, Henry had unintentionally taken Rebecca's life. Consumed by guilt and fear of the consequences, he had buried her body in a remote woodland, swearing never to speak of the gruesome act again. Years passed, and Henry had convinced himself that he had left his past behind. But the past, it seemed, had never truly left him. One stormy night, as Henry lay in bed with Laura, a soft whisper reached his ears, a voice both haunting and familiar. "Henry," it murmured, "you can't escape what you've done." Startled, Henry dismissed it as a product of his imagination and tried to return to sleep. But the voice persisted, growing louder and more insistent with each passing night. It carried with it the echoes of a memory long repressed, a memory of that fateful night with Rebecca. Soon, the haunting whispers invaded Henry's waking hours as well. He began to see apparitions of Rebecca, her ghostly figure hovering at the edge of his vision, her eyes filled with torment and accusation. She appeared in the reflections of mirrors, the shadows of darkened rooms, and even in the faces of strangers on the street. Desperation clawed at Henry's soul as he struggled to maintain his grip on reality. He feared that his sanity was slipping away, that the guilt he had carried for so long was finally consuming him. Laura, his loving wife, noticed the change in Henry. She could see the torment in his eyes, the sleepless nights, and the unshakable fear that had taken hold of him. Concerned for his well-being, she encouraged him to seek therapy, convinced that it was a manifestation of unresolved trauma from his past. As Henry delved into therapy, he reluctantly began to reveal the darkest corners of his history. His therapist, Dr. Crawford, was a compassionate listener who understood that the only way to confront the demons of the past was to acknowledge them. But as Henry shared the chilling tale of that fateful night with Rebecca, Dr. Crawford grew increasingly alarmed. He believed that the apparitions of Rebecca were a manifestation of Henry's guilt, a punishment his subconscious had devised for his unspeakable actions. As they delved deeper into the therapy sessions, Dr. Crawford realized that there was only one way for Henry to find redemption and release from his torment. He had to confess his crime to the authorities and face the consequences of his actions. Henry knew that revealing the truth would shatter the life he had built with Laura and their children, but he also understood that it was the only way to silence the relentless whispers of his past. With Dr. Crawford's guidance, he turned himself in to the authorities, confessing to the murder he had committed years ago. The legal proceedings were swift, and Henry was sentenced to prison for his crime. As he walked into the courtroom, he felt a strange sense of relief. The whispers of Rebecca had finally ceased, replaced by the cold, hard reality of his actions and the weight of the punishment he deserved. In the end, Henry's confession and incarceration provided a measure of closure for Rebecca's family, who had long wondered about her disappearance. It also offered Henry a chance at redemption, a glimmer of hope that one day he might find a way to forgive himself for the unspeakable act he had committed. The haunting of Henry Mitchell serves as a chilling reminder that the past has a way of resurfacing, and that the ghosts of our actions, no matter how deeply buried, may haunt us until we confront them and find a path toward redemption. If you liked this video, please give it a like and share. Subscribe the channel for more amazing stories.